Now, if you were a 13-year-old little black girl, I could see this.
Hi lovelies, and welcome back to another TikTok video. If you're new here, my name is Belinda Stronach and here is Ballistic Gist. Don't forget to please subscribe to this channel, turn on notifications so that anytime I upload videos, you will be the first person to be notified. And to my returning subscribers, thank you so much for all the love and support. To those people that share my video, leave commentaries, you guys are the real MVP. Thank you so much for all the love and support. So guys, I came across this video on my For You page on TikTok and I found it super interesting, where this whitewash black girl was actually realizing that Ray and sis actually exist. Most of all of these whitewash girls who hang around with clear peoples, they often think that okay, that is nothing like Ray and sis and all of this. So this sister is here to share her experience as a whitewashed girl who now realized that Ray and sis actually exist. Guys, I'm just gonna roll her clip as well as other people that staged this video, because a lot of people actually staged videos sharing their own experience why they thought that this does not exist, but it actually exists, guys. So I'm just gonna roll the clip. Please remember that this channel does not support any form of violence. We're just here for education and informative purposes, so there's no form of bullying or harassment and not accepted in this channel. So guys, let's get into, please leave me your own thoughts, share this video, subscribe, and let's get into it. Love this.
There is nothing worse than a whitewashed black girl realizing all the racism in the world who's also in a friend group with barely any other black women. There is this like nowhere's feeling, because when it hits you hard. And every weird little interaction that you just justified as being rude, turning out to be racism, makes you question your whole existence.
Hold on, let me get out of bed and find my bonnet. We gotta step outside. We gotta go onto the porch. Okay, that's better. The dogs are barking, you hear them? Because we gotta have this conversation. I remember the episode in Fresh Prince of Bel-Air where Ashley came back home from school or whatever. She was like, Mom, Dad, I'm gonna oppress you. Like sis said, this isn't a villain origin story. But I know one neighbor showed, two neighbors showed, and I've seen this a couple times growing up in life, right? I know a lot of y'all brothers and sisters who already know about your people be sitting up here talking about, oh, that's them token brothers and sisters. No. They don't know they tokens. Tokens know they tokens, and they like to be tokens. They don't know they tokens. There's a difference. We had to go back in the kitchen because the dog's a little bit too loud. Listen, I've seen this twice, right? One with an African-American sister that grew up in the suburbs, and she was always like the only melanated sister out of her whole friend group. The rest of her friend group was this color, right? The other one was an African sister. I saw when the light bulb went off, right? And tragically, the light bulb went off around the which one was that? Was it Eric Gardner, Michael Brown, or Trayvon? Ooh, there's been so many. Trayvon. Wow, that's a big batch of depression that just came over me, realizing how many of us that I can actually put these situations down by timelines based off of one of our brothers was slain in the streets. The story continues. I remember this one girl, African-American sister. She was just like hanging out with her friends and she was explaining the whole situation, and you could just see in their face they wasn't getting it, and that's when it clicked in her head and it was like, oh, I'm not one of you. And I'm just sitting in the background, you never was, sister. You never was. Come back home. There's still time to save you. The African sister was more like just a culture shock. Like just a whole culture shock. I think she had this idea of what America was, and then when she got over here, it was just like, no, this was not the case at all. Now, me personally, I know everybody's situation is going to be different. I acknowledge that, so on and so forth. I've seen more sisters escape that false reality than I have brothers. Like I've seen sisters like, and it's like around their mid-20s for some reason, like a light bulb goes off or a switch just flips, and they're just like, you know what? This ain't my scene. I need to refine myself because this is just all wrong. It makes sense because in your mid-20s is when you really are finding yourself and understanding who you are as you want to be as an adult. So that makes sense. Don't get me wrong, I see some brothers come back too, but I've seen more brothers pretty much accept the BS sometimes also. But granted, I'm pretty sure that somebody out there that I've seen the vice versa and so on and so forth, and I respect and understand that. I'm also going to be devil's advocate here and say up front, there's some sisters who never look back. Like, as y'all know, I only date sisters, whether they be from the Caribbean, the motherland, or here in good old America, right? However, and there's the asterisk besides this. If you a sister and you ain't got no other sisters as like your friends, as in all your friends are this color, I'm talking about ones who don't want to hang out with their siblings, their cousins, anything else like that. They barely talk to their parents. I don't care how fine you are, I really can't date you. But I know a bunch of y'all gonna say, Sims, that sounds a bit weird, bro. No, stop and think about this for 1 second. You have a sister of the African American community. All her friends are Caucasian, right? She don't associate with any other sisters on the planet. The planet. Except her mama on Christmas. That's it. And even then, it's some estranged relationship she never goes to explain about. Just to find out a couple months later that it was actually her to being a problem the whole time, and she really just don't like herself. That's what I'm getting at. That's exactly where I'm getting at. Y'all see what I'm getting at now. I gotta go. I got things to do. Catch y'all later. Bonnet off.
Okay, so my experience is not exactly like hers, but her story makes me think of a friendship breakup that I just had this year. So I was friends with this guy that I met in AIT, and for those who weren't in the military, AIT is just a training school for you to learn how to do your job. So I met this guy in AIT, and then after AIT, we both had to go to language school together. So we ended up spending about 2.5 years stationed at the same bases together. So we developed a friendship that was rooted very deeply in being sarcastic assholes. So we had like a really sarcastic, like rude type of humor with each other. Like our banter was very much like military humor. So the type of friendship where from the outside, you would think we didn't like each other from the way that we spoke to each other. But we were really good friends. And we had the most like deep, intimate, intense conversations about everything under the sun, except for racism. And that's important in a second. But we talked about everything. We talked about family. We talked about marriages. We talked about children. We talked about hopes, dreams, fears. We talked about like everything under the sun. But we never had a conversation about racism. And it never occurred to me that we needed to. So let's fast forward to 2023 this year. I mentioned to this guy, you know, I was like, I'm thinking about getting on Bumble BFF because I would really like to find black women in my area to be friends with. I would really like to have community with black women. I don't feel as though I have enough black women friends. And he was very perplexed by this, and he asked me like, why specifically are you looking for black women friends? Like, and I told him, I said, it's just easier. It's, you know, I was kind of confused as to why he would be confused about me wanting black women friends. And I said, it's just easier. It's easier to build relationships with someone when you have, when you don't have to explain so much. Like they come into it and they already see you, and you don't have to explain things that are just commonly known. And he wanted me to elaborate and to explain. And I just threw out an example. I was like, just things like systemic racism. I don't have to hold their hand in understanding that. Like, and it just makes certain things so much easier. Well, me saying that turned into a huge ordeal, where he tells me basically, one, systemic racism in his mind, systemic racism isn't real. He tells me that racism isn't even really a thing, and that it's something that black people have made up in their minds, and that it's something. Oh wait, hold on. I should have said he's not a white person. He is Mexican, and not only is he Mexican, this is the reason why it never occurred to me that we needed to talk about racism, because not only is he Mexican, but his wife is a biracial black woman, and his children are black and Mexican. It never crossed my mind that we would need to talk about racism, because I assumed that we had a similar understanding and a similar view of the world. So back to the conversation, he tells me racism is something that black people make up in their minds because they're weak-minded and they need excuses to justify their failures. And then this man tells me how disgusted he is at me. He said he's disgusted with me that I think like this and that he never knew I was this type of person. And he said that he thought I was different. And now he's so disgusted with me because I believe in systemic racism. He's disgusted with me. That conversation. Oh, and in that conversation, I also find out that he voted for Trump. Like, how have we been friends for 6 years and I didn't know you voted for Trump? What? Like, I feel like it was the most trippy, like, it was a mind fuck because it made me feel like I had no idea who this person was because we didn't have those conversations. I didn't think that I needed to vet him in that way, the way I would have with, you know, other types of friends. I didn't think I needed to because not only is he another member of, you know, people of the global majority, but his wife is black and his children are black. They're biracial black children. So it didn't even cross my mind. Didn't even cross my mind that he might potentially even think like this. And I say all this to say, I think that we are always like subconsciously prepared for our white friends to surprise us with saying some stuff like that one day. Like they just pop out one day and say some messed up stuff. And I think like somewhere deep down we're like, okay, I figured that would have happened eventually. But when it comes to friends that are, you know, people of color or in relationships with black partners or have black children, I feel like we get caught off guard because maybe I'm projecting, I'm saying we a lot, but I feel like we don't think we need to have those conversations. I don't think we vet people who are other people of color. I don't think we vet them in that way. I don't think anything prepares us for our friends that are other people of color turning out to be racist.
You know, baby sister, I've seen your video be stitched many times. Many. And every time I see a stitch of your video, I am hoping that someone is going to give you the truth in love. And I haven't seen that yet. I'm sure it's out there, but I haven't seen it. So I'm your big sis. I'm going to give you the truth. And the truth is this. You're too old for this. You really are. You are entirely too old for this. Now, if you were a 13-year-old little black girl, I could see this. Because 13-year-old little black girls are constantly thrusted into violent, anti-black, majority white spaces. And that is hard to navigate. If you were 18, I could see it. Because at 18, you're legally an adult, but in all other ways, you're still a child. And the biggest hurdle that you're facing at 18 is learning to break free and create your own environments, your own spaces. I'm not going to even give you a pass because you're a black woman in what seems to be corporate America. Many of us live that life. I code switch with the best of them. But do you know what I do? When I leave work, I come right on to my black ass home. You are in a position where you can create the environment that you want to be in. And if you are one of the few black women in a majority white woman space that has been violent to you, you are in that space still because of your choosing. You are choosing this space at this point in your life. You are not foreign to us. You never have been. You never have been. We've always been your people. But for whatever story goes behind this video has made you feel like you're foreign. To call yourself whitewashed, you move like that. And if you move like that, then we other black women will code you as foreign. But again, that's on you. That is a you problem. So if you want safer, blacker spaces, you need to get off your black ass and do the work. Unpack your shit. Because right now you're your own worst enemy. So anytime you're ready, come on back to the house. We've always been here. We've never rejected you. And we won't. You've been busy rejecting yourself. And you're too old to be on this app whining about a space that you can walk away from. Now I'm saying all of this black woman to black woman. in black love. And I hope you process it, because you do deserve blacker, safer spaces. We all do. But again, you're an adult. It's your responsibility to find them and foster them. I hope you have a beautiful black ass day. From the bottom of my black heart.
Girl, you hit the nail on the head. This was me. And then when I went to college, I decided to study slavery. Not a good idea. And half my family, not biologically, my father that I call is white. So half my family's white, half my family's black on both sides. Both my parents interracially married, moved to white neighborhoods, and that was my experience. And then when I started studying slavery, I was probably in my 20s, like hated white people, like hated them. Because I was appalled. You don't learn this in, the white schools, like all this stuff. When you read like Frederick Douglass's book and, all of that. But then I had to just, there's a point in time where you're just like, okay, it's not everybody, not everybody's like that. Some people just don't know any better, that they are being that. It's not an intentional thing. And then others, they are being intentional. But you learn discernment. But yeah, there's this period of like now, we hate you. And I don't know, but that was a good post because there's a lot of us that can resonate with that. And it's a very weird time when you're having to look at things from a different perspective than what you're accustomed to.
I often think about the children of Harriet Tubman. The children of Harriet Tubman, these was the slaves who made it to the North. You get what I'm saying? I tell you all the time, I don't really like those slaves. You know why? Because the whole time they was up there in the North, they had to pretend. You get what I'm saying? Even the white people up there in the North had to pretend. You get me? They had to pretend. You get me? All these slaves coming up here for freedom and stuff like that. Oh, yeah. Hey, how you doing? Welcome, and all that. Oh, I hate them. They lied to y'all, and y'all thought they was y'all friends. You get me? At least in the South, we knew what it was. We knew the truth. You don't like me, I don't like you. You get what I'm saying? But y'all down there just pretending. You get what I'm saying? Just pretending. They just smile in your face, hating you behind your back. You get me? The children of Harriet Tubman.
See, I'm gonna be honest. We be telling y'all, but y'all don't listen. Y'all think that we be trying to be rude, but nobody trying to be rude. We trying to tell y'all, bro. But for me, you want to be with the white girls.
Like, seriously, lovelies, the sooner we all start realizing that these people will never accept you to be one of them, they'll better for everyone. Like, one of all this. But not about these whitewashed girls, like they actually felt that okay, there's nothing like Ray and Sis existing. They get involved with what people, they try to do everything white, they try to look so whitish, and they try to talk even white and all of that. Their friends, like your friends, your friend group, white, everything, Because of this, you begin to realize that okay, you begin to think that there's nothing like Ray and Sis. Like the life is just the way it is. That this Ray and Sis whatever is just something that everybody just bring it up and try to put it up there. That's something like Ray and Sis. Now, one of these whitewashed girls now is not realizing that actually Ray and Sis do exist. When you keep on telling them that, oh my goodness, this is, especially when we do this niche, like a lot of people, even more sometimes, people of color come to comments that, oh my goodness, why are you bringing all of this narrative? There's nothing like Ray and Sis. This happened in the past. This happened during our forefathers and all of that, and now nobody sees what they call color. Nobody sees anything called. This is why we have a lot of whitewashed, girls trying to like live white, trying to like, see themselves like white people or something. Then when you now see or feel this level of Ray and Sis towards, like coming from your friend group, that you felt that okay, you guys are actually the same, you guys are just something, or because of you felt that there's nothing like Ray and Sis. Now when this Ray and Sis energy is not coming from your friend group, this is when the reality hits on you. The reality of, oh my goodness, I am actually different from these people. Like they will just treat you like, oh yeah, you are different from us. You are, and you are colored and we are plain. So there is nothing like being equal. Like the sooner the level of these whitewash girls or whitewash black girls, realize that there is nothing like them being equal or being something with clear people, the better for everybody. Then you won't come around on internet and start telling how you just realize that there is rape and sex going on. Oh, you're just realizing now. Like, you are just realizing when you were told that, okay, this thing really exists, but you decided that, oh no, all my friends are just clear people, I do something clear and all of that. I don't believe that something like this exists. You were not getting to you're not trying to do the fact that this actually exists, but right now you're realizing, and it is hurting you so much. It shouldn't hurt you. Like, you still have us, we still have a community out there, so you shouldn't be bothered about it. I have at least gotten into that state that, okay, no, I know what I'm saying. I think I've experienced something like that, which I wouldn't want to share, but for me to know that this actually still exists, it does exist. Like, it really does exist. And the sooner you accept it, the better for your mental health, the better for your heart. You won't get hurt. You won't get disappointed. Maybe coming from the group of friends you grew up with, or the neighborhood you grew up with, like, it won't hurt you that much. So why not just relax, make your friends, start making friends, start making maybe people of color being your friends, and trying to develop relationship between your kind of person, so that you will not end up being disappointed or being heartbroken, or because you feel that the girls or your friend group that you've been there with from when you were little to when you're growing up is now treating you separately, or because they felt that you are not in their link, or you are not like them. Because this actually still exists in friend groups. Like, if you see any friend group that has to do with clear color and people of color and all of that, there is always a level of this, no matter how they try to pretend. So the more you accept your fate, the more you accept that, okay, I accept it. That you are being racist towards me because I am the color of my skin and all of that. So I'll just accept it. Try to make other friend group, try to make people of color friend group, so as to get to know traditions and the way people of color does things, and reduce your level of whitewashed stuff. So guys, why not just leave me your own thoughts in the comment section of what you think of this video, and do not forget that this channel does not support any form of violence. We just here for educational and informative purposes. So why not share this video, like, and if you're coming from Belinda's channel, please, you are so welcome. Please share this video for your girl. I am still working on my Belinda's channel, and I'll be coming back in full force. So thank you for all the love so far. Share this video, subscribe, and I'll see you lovely when I upload my next video.